Phosphor fans were back on the NES playing an arcade classic, Defender 2, also known as Stargate. This is it's a really nice port of the original arcade game, as you can see. Looks and sounds like the real thing, with some very minor differences. And I have a feeling that where the arcade game of either Defender or Stargate or Defender 2, whatever you want to call it, I've always considered the arcade game almost, there's too much button going on. It's more than I can handle with my limited manual dexterity. The Atari 2600 version is too clumsy because of weird stuff like, you have to dive into the ground to set off a smart bomb. I'm wondering if the NES version might prove to be just the right number of buttons for me to handle. So let's find out. I've never been particularly good at this game, as you can see, because there are lots of things to run into that will kill you. No, you're not going down and getting any people. No, 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 not you either. And also not... Oh! Accidentally shot the person. You're not supposed to do that. Don't be a person shooter. I'm sorry, I know that that joke doesn't play well in this day and age, and I'm dead. I will have to play this game several times to adequately demonstrate. However, aside from my propensity for running face first into the aliens, this is quite a bit more fun than I usually have playing Defender or any variants thereof, because the number of buttons is just right. Did I shoot the person again? I'm probably taking way too long to accomplish this. Oh, I cleared a level. I'm not going to say that's a first on Defender, but it's not a guaranteed thing with me at the helm. Now, exploding into lots of little pieces and dying, that is pretty much a guaranteed thing with me at the helm, but bear with me. No, here. I'm not going to let you do it. Now the mutant guy, see, that was so quick. This is pitiful. I'm like 3 minutes in and failing miserably. Okay, I was about to say, let's get a lot more aggressive and fly into things. Okay, this is probably what you tune in for if you are going to watch someone play any kind of Defender game. Is me exploding. That's what you're tuning in for. And I do not intend to disappoint you. I'm going to explode a lot. Now what they're trying to do, if you're not familiar with Defender, is these green guys, the landers, they are trying to get to the bottom of the screen and snatch up those people. Once they have... I hate those guys. Oh, did it again. Okay, yeah, I think this may definitely be my favorite format for playing Defender. Is, the format where I run into stuff face first and explode. Let's try it again. I'm dangerously close to being in a precarious position, or I could possibly be mistaken for being on a roll. Okay. If they abduct one of the people and make it to the top of the screen with them, that person cannot be recovered. Until then, you can crash into them and explode, and that kills everybody, which really is not how you're supposed to play the game. Now, theoretically, yeah, going so well. I am on such a roll for exploding. Okay, let's take a break, shall we? Because there is something else I want to show you while we are here. I have this year's new Hallmark Arcade Christmas ornament, which happens to be a Defender machine. Check this out. This is the 2019 Hallmark Arcade ornament. These are possibly the best miniature arcade game replicas you can get, as long as you're not looking for something that is actually playable. If you were looking for a display item, especially like me, if you've if you've got a Kenner Death Star set up and you are trying to put an arcade in the bottom floor next to the trash compactor, as you do. Wow, it's really wrapped up in there. These are aces. These are about as perfect as you can get. As you can see, it replicates those devilishly difficult controls for those of us who have very limited manual dexterity. You have the coin door, the side art, you have the marquee, you have the side art on both sides. You have the coin door surround art, and yeah, it looks like the real thing. It looks like the real deal. So now that I've unwrapped it, let me see. There are batteries in the bottom of the box. So I will get back to playing the game. Don't worry. This is not a not. I have not abandoned playing the game. And see if this brings the Defender machine to life. That's cool. I wonder how long it goes on. Okay, that's quite the little sequence that it runs there. So that's that's so cute. And like I said, these are the Hallmark arcade ornaments are fantastic if you are like me, an aficionado of 3 3/4 inch scale action figures, and you're trying to set up an arcade for your little plastic pals. The Hallmark ornaments are the bomb. See, it even has the bezel artwork around the screen, and so when you push that button, the screen lights up. Now it's a still. There's nothing moving in there. It's not. You can't actually play it. It's just a still that lights up. The marquee lights up, and it makes an awful lot of noise. So let me see if I can get back to the game and make an awful lot of noise that way. We'll find out if... Oh, okay. Alright, let's smart bomb those guys. And you see what I like about the NES controller, why I thought the NES controller might be the best way for me to handle a game of Defender, is that the 2600, you would think, would be very easy to control. Is he heading up there? Oh, no. Okay, let's see if I can demonstrate what these guys do if they... Did I get everybody? Oh, well, okay, I can also kill everything. That's also permissible. And then I can explode immediately. upon contact with the first thing that I see that I could possibly run into. That's, backed into him. Really? Really? Okay, I should be, this cartridge version of Defender 2, or Stargate, whatever you want to call it, is much more generous with the smart bombs. So let's walk into a crowded room and set it off. Oh, I caught that person in midair. See, everything's up for grabs as long as the person has not been turned into a mutant by the lander taking it to the top of the screen. Okay, who's left? Who have I got? Oh, flying saucer. Well, I guess the person survived. It didn't slam into the ground. You're supposed to catch them before they impact the ground. That's always a good thing to do if you have a human being in free fall, even in a low gravity environment. The oh, 15,500. That may be my best game of Defender ever. So again, I'm not a person who needs to be demonstrating Defender to anybody, unless of course it's the Hallmark ornament, which I hope you enjoyed getting a look at that. So thank you for putting up with this very atypical Phosphor Fossil, which was more about unwrapping and putting batteries in a game than actually playing one. But they're kind of sort of related. Maybe you'll let me get away with that one. And by the way, if you want to order your own Defender Hallmark ornament, you can go to thelogbook.com/store, or I will provide a link in the show notes that takes you directly to it. You can get it there. And that, of course, helps keep these videos and other projects going, and gets you a little Defender machine that you can hang on your tree to make a lot of noise. And, you can remember the good times, all the times that you ran into things face first and exploded. As you do. So let me, real quick, get into the guts of the machine, as I am wont to do with arcade games of any size. And we can go about putting the batteries in it and see what that does. We can knock stuff off the desk too. We can do everything. I mean, this show is just going off the rails completely. And okay, so the battery container is going to be completely child-proof, therefore I will need an actual child to get into it. Remember, I may have made a reference earlier in this show to limited manual dexterity. Well, here we are. Here we go. Okay, you've got to peel off a backing that leaves the film that you can just punch the batteries through. In theory. Where's the screwdriver? Where's the knife? Okay, let me see if I can access even so much as a single battery now. I feel like I need to go back in post-production, really, and just put a big flashing limited manual dexterity sign over this whole video. All right, I have one battery out. Two batteries out.